down.
It's time for the Miller's Edge with New York Giants legend and South Carolina Hall of Famer Corey Miller and his son, four-time SEC champion and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
And knocked down again. It was Christian Miller.
Here is college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into this Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Top 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. Hope everybody's doing great. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys are full, still full from yesterday. That means you ate good. If you're like me, man. Wyatt, who's behind the glass today, guys. We got Wyatt behind the glass, Chase Reed, both out, spending some time with their families, but Wyatt, I'm just going to tell you this, man. I know I asked you about your Thanksgiving, and I'm glad it went well. But let me just tell you, I hate to brag, but I think I might have been blessed with probably the best plate that there was, man. And it wasn't even me cooking it, so it's not me bragging at all. I did not cook any of it. I went over to Jamie, right? Jamie Moses' house, my best friend, played here. You guys know him. He's an assistant coach on the staff right now, working with the D-line. Those guys doing a great job, but went over there, and as a matter of fact, it's the third year straight that we've done it, right? So we always go over there for Thanksgiving. Him and his wife, Savannah, they do a great job. And when I tell you, Wyatt, it might have – I mean, and every year is good, all right? Let me preface by saying that every year is dang near like the best, right? Outside of my mom's cooking, right? I always got to hold that top spot there. Nobody can take that part. But right there, real close, is what they do over at the Moses. Well, I'm just going to tell you, yesterday – Wyatt, it was so good, man. And Savannah's uncle, right? Like, he's a butcher. So what she does is she goes down and she gets the food. I feel like I'm like sharing all this info. I don't think they mind. But anyway, she's got family in Florida, and she's down there spending time with them. So when she comes back on Thanksgiving, you know, she brings a lot of the stuff from her uncle. And so as you can imagine, I mean, this guy's a butcher. I mean, he's like legit. So, I mean, we had stuff. I mean, there's like macaroni and cheese with brisket in there. It's like brisket mac and cheese with bacon on the top, baked on top of it. Like that alone, I feel like you guys are getting where I'm going with this. I mean, this food is insane, man. I mean, like the turkey itself was incredible. There's a tenderloin that, I mean, probably was just cooked to perfection. Stuffing, dressing, all that stuff. Corn casserole. Jamie, I'll tell you all this, though. I don't know if you like me, but you know, me and him, and we love collard greens, man. He puts like smoked turkey necks in there. Golly, Wyatt, I might have to go to a timeout and go make a plate right now, bro. I mean, that's how good this food was, and his desserts and all that stuff. So
you got me hungry, and I've had plenty of food over the last 2 days.
Listen, and I hate to be that guy because I know everybody thinks they got the best plate, but I'm telling you guys, this plate, and again, I didn't cook it, so I don't want the bragging rights. I'm giving it to them, the Moses. I mean, it makes no sense how good this food is every year, man. Like they kill it, and this year I think they outdid themselves. So anyway, shout out to them for always doing that, and then you know her family who provides some of that right from the butcher himself. But yeah, I guess my advice is if you guys ever meet a butcher, man, make sure you get some good Thanksgiving dishes from them because whatever those guys do is insane. I'm telling you, the mac and cheese is probably the best mac and cheese I've ever had in my life. Like brisket mac and cheese with bacon on top. Like, God, just listen to the sound. That's crazy. But my favorite, though, the greens that Jamie makes are insane, always. Those are, I mean, he ate like 3 bowls of them himself. And then the sweet potato casserole, man, that's like my favorite dish. And it was like to a T as well. So anyway, I'm clearly very grateful for that plate, but also very grateful for a number of things. One of those being you guys, our listeners, who make this whole thing possible. Missed you guys yesterday, but excited to be back. We got plenty to talk about. A lot of stuff going on. So shout out to all our folks here in the chat. I see everybody's starting to roll in. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Everybody listening via Tide 100.9 Facebook. Hope you guys are doing great and ready for a big weekend, right? We got football going on. Big shout out to Wyatt. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't even aware of all the schedule of everything going on. Speaking of that, I've got it pulled up, and thank you, God, right? Another thing I'm thankful for. My setup is back. I've got my dual monitor back, my PC back. So I'm literally simultaneously, I'm hosting the show, but I'm watching the Ole Miss Mississippi State game, the Egg Bowl, right? And Ole Miss, by the way, just scored. They scored in about what seemed to be maybe 3 plays, right? It's less than 2-minute drive. They already got points on the board. So if this is, in fact, Lane Kiffin's last or final game, maybe I should say at home, I don't think he would just ditch them like that. It looks like they're off to a good start. Now, Wyatt, I don't know what the update is on his situation. I think we're supposed to find out afterwards, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. However, in other coaching news, and Ricky mentioned this in the chat, we got to give a round of applause and I guess like a big shout out to Coach Jamarcus Shepard. Now, a little bittersweet for Alabama fans because the news means that we're losing one of our coaches that I think a lot of people, since the day he got here, really, grew to him, right? His energy is very infectious. He kind of felt like he had that old school energy, kind of like that Nick Saban era-esque energy, right? Very loud, very confident. And we all know the good work that he does with the wide receiver room. Well, he has accepted the position to be the new Oregon State head coach. I believe he put out a statement. I'm going to try to pull that up real quick. But my guess is he will be with Alabama throughout the remainder of this season, right? Which there's a lot still on the line, a lot of football to be played. Hopefully we see plenty of that with Alabama. Tomorrow will determine a lot of that. But you got to be happy for the guy. This will be his first head coaching opportunity. He does have experience in the conference on that side of the map here in the United States. So I'm sure he's really looking forward to the opportunity. And I'll say this, White, even though he doesn't have head coaching experience, he definitely strikes me as a guy that is a good fit to be a head coach. I said this other day or last week whenever we were talking about it, but the energy that he brings, and I mentioned this too, like people have to remember being a head coach, man, there's so many more factors and aspects to it. It's not just like, how much ball you know, right? I mean, you're a leader of men. That's one of the biggest criteria when it comes to being a head football coach. You got to be a great leader of men. And he exemplifies that, in my opinion, right? I think he's going to crush that part of it. I think the next step is, right, to get the right staff around him, which leads me to another question. Are there any guys that he could be potentially bringing with him? I guess we'll have to wait and see. You got a guy like Nick Sheridan, who is considered co-offensive coordinator here right now. But he technically, I wouldn't say was demoted, but somewhat was when Ryan Grubb came back. Could maybe Shepard have a position over there for him? Could you potentially lose a couple more guys? Who knows? And I'm not saying that to I guess, paint some negative picture like you're losing all these coaches, but it's a common trend that when one guy gets hired, he wants some familiarity, right? And best believe a lot of that familiarity typically will come from where he just came from. So there is a chance that you could see some others leave with them. But if I had to guess, I don't necessarily see that per se. I'm just giving an example. But maybe there could be like a GA or so, a couple guys here on staff that could follow to Oregon State. So that is one thing to keep an eye out for. Again, I have no information on who he plans on bringing with him or who he might. I'm just saying that is something that commonly happens. So you definitely know you're losing him, which, in my opinion, Wyatt, I think it's a pretty significant loss. I'm not saying it's not fixable or anything, but to me, I feel like what he brought here was big, right? I mean, we all know the impact that he's had on these wide receivers. They speak very highly of him. We know, just his track record of developing guys. So I do think it's it's a solid loss, but I'm excited to see who they look to come in next to be the wide receiver coach here at Alabama. Good news is I think Kalen DeBoer will have a pretty easy pitch, right? I mean, hey, who wants to come coach Ryan Williams? We know for a fact he'll be here next year. So your first year as the wide receivers coach at the University of Alabama, you get to work with one of the biggest names in college football at the position. I understand he's not, necessarily playing his best ball this year, but best believe the potential's there, and he's definitely probably due for a big season next year. So that'd probably be a pretty easy pitch if I had to guess, if you're trying to find somebody to take over that wide receiver spot, at least the coaching spot, I should say. That being said, we'll go ahead and hit our first time out to stay on schedule. We're going to dive into the Iron Bowl. We're going to really put a bow on everything. We've got Slade Bolden, speaking of wide receivers, former Alabama wide receiver. He'll be joining us at 12:30 here on the show in about an hour and 14 minutes, so stay tuned for that. And plus, we'll get y'all's predictions. 205-342-9904 is the number to the program. Call in, drop those there. Get your thoughts on the Iron Bowl. Again, we know how big this game is. I want to talk to you guys about it. Right now that Thanksgiving's out the way, we're turning our attention to the Iron Bowl. We're going to talk about that and more. Come join the stream at the Miller's Edge on YouTube. We invite you guys hang out with us interact in the chat, watch me do the show, all that fun stuff. Plus, you can always download that Time 100.9 app that I always recommend because you can listen to the shows wherever you're at. Plus, you can leave app messages and voice messages as well with the ease of the app from Tide 100.9, Google Play Store, all that stuff. Ricky said he's got time to call in today, so we'll hear from him and others right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. Quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Hear that? That's Mike.
What's up, guys? Jake, what's up? Kenji, what's up? Happy Friday. Mike, what's going on, man? Happy Thanksgiving, belated Thanksgiving. Hope you guys had a great one, man. Oh, man. You know what's crazy? I can't butcher the last name now, Mike. I got it right the very first time. Ah, man, I don't want to mess it up, man. But Mike and his family. That's Mike, Jake, and their great family, who I got to meet, man. Had the pleasure of meeting everybody. It was really fun. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, man. D'Agostino. That's close enough, man. That's what I got for today. You guys know I butcher names. Who y'all got in this Egg Bowl, man? Mississippi State has the ball right now, but Ole Miss, like I mentioned earlier, man, they ran down the field and scored under 2 minutes. Mississippi State, man, they're marching down a little bit. Let's see what they got. Got your turkey from a farmer, way better than the store frozen ones, man. Hey, listen, you guys know I hunt a little bit, or maybe you don't, but I do. And there goes Mississippi State. Big completion. Wild turkey, turkey like that is, freshly, I guess, what do you want to call it? Processed, whatever the case. You get what I'm saying? Man, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. Had collard greens for breakfast. I don't blame you, Kenji. I don't blame you. Y'all got to try if you haven't, man. Put I'm telling you, Jamie puts like smoked turkey necks in there. He does like 1 pack of the smoked ones in the Cajun as well. Guys, it's just so good, man. So good. Best believe I'm gonna march over there a little bit later and go make another plate. I forgot to bring one to go. Congrats, Coach Shep. Absolutely, man. Yeah, the Egg Bowl is on literally right now as we speak. Mississippi State just crossed I think they just crossed like Ole Miss is like 30-something yard line. Looks like they're in field goal range. Gonna miss him, but good for him. Haven't had a coordinator promoted head coach in a long time. Yeah, it's interesting. If I had to guess who was going to be the first coach off this staff to be hired, I was thinking maybe like Ryan Grubb, but Jamarcus Shepard makes sense. Like if you're going to take a chance on a guy, he's got all those tools and traits that I was talking about earlier that I think, definitely give him a good chance to be successful. The next step is really, man, just get the right group of people around you. I think he's going to do good at recruiting. We know he can develop guys in the receiver room, and he's got a good understanding of, offense, right? And he's been working with Kalen DeBoer. If he can get himself a really good defensive coordinator, man, he might have a chance over there. Everyone told me that Ohio State and Georgia are the new Bama. If that's the case, somebody should hire their assistants. I think they harvested on Monday, really fresh. Oh, yeah. I'm already knowing. And welcome back in to this Friday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Arch Sport Experts. You guys heard it, man. We're now turning our attention also to that time of year. It's Christmas time, right? Thanksgiving's done. Slowly approaching December, and that means we're going to start playing some Christmas music here on the show, man. So we're very festive, right? Maybe I should call this a festive Friday edition of the show, man. It's great, man. We got football, festivities, plenty of food. Faith definitely got that. Plenty of F's going around, man. So, we're very thankful here on the show. We got the Iron Bowl coming up. We'll definitely plan on talking about that. We've been talking about it this week, talking about the matchups, right? Just surface level real quick, right? You've got an Auburn team new energy, new face when you look at DJ Durkin taking over, right? Derek Nix taking over as offensive coordinator last 2 games, including one being Mercer. We know that. And a true freshman at quarterback. Put up over 100 points on the board, over 1,100 yards of offense, right? That was one thing that they really struggled with. The defense has been really good, one of the better defenses in the country, especially their front seven. Secondary, a little bit of a vulnerability there, but still, you're talking about a team that has some new life, some new energy, and they're definitely probably looking forward to this challenge, right? They got to win this game if they want to be bowl eligible. We all know they'd probably love to take our opportunity away from the SEC championship game and the playoffs. That said, though, looks like it's going to be an interesting one, right? You're talking about really good front seven going against an offense in Alabama who's been a little bit of a stagnant group the past few weeks, right? Not the best ball we've seen out of Ty Simpson, our quarterback. Something to pay attention to. Can he have a rebound game? A lot of people, including myself, feel like this might be that time for him. It seems like, as a football player, right, you're going to go through slumps. You're going to have some ups and downs. And then when you're a really good football player, it's only a matter of time till you get back in your groove, right? It's only a matter of time till you get back in your rhythm. Like I remember, like for me, like my senior year, I remember I had like a stretch of like, might have been like 3 games, might have like maybe like a half a sack, something like that, but I felt like I wasn't as productive as I wanted to be. But I was like right there. I wasn't far off. I mean, I was getting back there, just one there. And then I feel like, boom. Matter of fact, it was early in my senior year. I think it was right leading up, but then we played Ole Miss. I had like 3 sacks in the first half, and then it came. So I'm hoping that could be the case for Ty, because if I'm being transparent with you guys, I really believe we're going to need him to play some really good football in this game. I mean, he's got an opportunity to go up against a secondary that has struggled. They've shown a lot of vulnerability on tape. From me watching them, I mean, there's definitely going to be some plays there, but we got to do a good job up front. We got to do a good job handling everything that comes with playing on the road in Jordan-Hare, and we got to just find ways to connect with our guys, man. That's really what it boils down to. That's the biggest difference over the last few weeks, whether it's a timing issue, whether it's just not, confidently, step in the pocket, finding those throws that we found, initially over the first half of the year. We got to find a way to connect like we were early in the season, because if you want to win this football game, best believe we're going to have to do that, right? I mean, they've got a really good rushing defense, one of the best ones in the country. We don't run the ball great, so best believe, I mean, we're going to anticipate having to make some plays through the air, and you got to connect on as many of those as possible, right? This probably wouldn't be the game that you want to go into and have some of those misses that we've seen in recent weeks that ended up being some critical misses. You go back to South Carolina, you look at LSU, and even, Oklahoma, and most recently, right? I mean, even against Eastern Illinois, right? There's sometimes we're not there. And it's only and again, it's for the most part, really, it's only, how would I explain this? Why? It's not like we're missing on a whole bunch of stuff, but we're missing on things that we need to hit on, right? It's like a 3rd and long situation. We have a guy open and we just miss him, right? Or it's just a tad late. That's got to be cleaned up in this game, because best believe it's going to be a good Auburn defense that you're playing, and they're going to have plenty of juice. And that's why I think it's important that we come out early, right? Try to take some of that momentum from them, right? Cool them down a little bit, because they're going to come out hot. You already know that. I can assure you that. And I think that'd be really good if we can get a fast start in this game. Then on the flip side, defense, the biggest challenge for them. They've been playing some really good football. My biggest challenge is we've got to get back to force those turnovers, which we did see against Eastern Illinois, so we've already done that. But in Oklahoma, man, that really was a difference, a turnover battle. If you're -3 on offense and you don't come up with any on defense, man, I mean, you maybe have at best a 20% chance to win a football game. The fact that we still came within 2 was pretty impressive. That said, defense, they got to do our job. The biggest keys for me, for them, and in this game, containing their quarterbacks, knowing they all have dual threat abilities, that's going to be big. Auburn's going to look to utilize that. Best believe that, because in their passing game, at least in recent weeks, trying to get an idea, Derek Nixon, how he likes to call things, a lot of quick pass, screen game, you're going to get that. But best believe they will try to run the football and utilize those quarterbacks. And so whether it is quarterback design run or scramble drill, we got to make sure that we're cleaning that up and taking care of that, which I think everybody talks about the struggles you have with dual threat quarterbacks, which is true. I wouldn't say we've been like awful with it. I think every time people pull up the stats, they've all rushed for the dual threat quarterbacks that we play. They've all rushed for like maybe over 60 yards, which is not great, but I would argue that we've done okay, right? Some people make it seem a lot worse than it is. The biggest thing is you just control that in this game, knowing that Ashton Daniels, will see him. He's a starter. He has that ability. Then Deuce Knight, they mentioned that they'll probably have some packages in there for him. Best believe they will take advantage of his athletic ability. So definitely some things to look into this game, and we'll anticipate talking about it a little bit more in depth a little bit later. Wyatt, let me get your thoughts real quick, just kind of surface level thoughts, man. We know how big this Iron Bowl is. We know everything that's on the line, a trip to the SEC championship, a trip to the college football playoffs. What's your kind of overall outlook on this game? Again, really good Auburn defense, offense, getting some life in them, but we know Jordan-Hare Stadium, man, it's a tough environment. How are you feeling about it so far?
Just you got to play your game, right? I mean, you've got to be able to hit your stride in the passing game. They're not clicking on all cylinders, but they're close, right? You can see that they're one or two tweaks away, it seems like, away from hitting on all cylinders on the offensive side of the ball there. You've faced a lot of defenses this season, or a couple of defenses this season that are better than Auburn's, right? Statistically speaking, Auburn is top 40, but Georgia's got a statistical better defense. Oklahoma does. Missouri does. So you faced better defenses than what you're going to face tomorrow night down in Jordan-Hare Stadium, but you haven't really faced that rivalry aspect, right? You got it with Tennessee and LSU, but those are both home games. You're going on the road for your first rivalry game this year. Stay ahead of the sticks. That's going to be the biggest thing for this offense here. And then defensively for Alabama, Kane Womack's been putting on a masterclass these last few weeks. Even with Oklahoma, you had the pick six and two short fields really set up Oklahoma in favorable position there. But outside of that, I think, stay ahead of the sticks on offense. Defensively, don't get caught up with all the eye candy that you're probably going to see. And I think they've done a really good job of that over the last few weeks, but stick to your keys and you'll be more than ready to go against Auburn here. Just come out with the win on Saturday. It can be by 50 points. It can be by 1 point. I don't care. Just win Saturday, and then let's turn our attention to Atlanta.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I mean, that's really all that matters right now. And I think that's what these guys are going to have on their mind because they understand. The good news is, and I guess it's good news now, but, if you look back, they understood last year when you went on the road to Oklahoma and you lost that game, it changed the trajectory of everything. So a lot of these guys are still the same guys from that team that are on this team. So they understand the significance of being in a situation where your back is against the wall and you have to win, right? And plus, we've seen us in critical moments, right? Whether it's South Carolina or other games where you've got to find a way. That is one thing this team has proven to do, even though, like you said, offense might not be firing on all cylinders as of recent weeks, but they have always found a way. Outside of Oklahoma, that was really one of the first times we saw this team not find a way, which, it happens, right? There's, when you kind of play with fire and you're in those tough situations, I mean, you're not always going to be perfect. And that one, they just fell short at the end. That said, it is going to be important. And a couple other things just to mention, right? Auburn's offense, tempo, you got to expect that. Be prepared for that. That's one key I forgot to mention. You got to be ready to handle that because we all know what comes with that. And they're going to try to go fast. They're going to try to confuse you. Like you said, the eye candy pre-snap, you're going to get all those things. But at the end of the day, you got to go out there. And really what it boils down to is, right, reading your keys, alignment, assignment, playing sound football, and going and tackling and forcing turnovers, man, which it's a little easier said than done. But if you can go out and do those things, I think we could do a good job handling that Auburn offense. I mean, they're not great. They haven't been great all year. Last 2 weeks, they've got a little bit of juice. We'll see how much of it is actual real juice because they're about to face probably the best defense or one of the best defense they've seen this season. That said, Wyatt, I wouldn't be shocked if this is a lower scoring game. I wouldn't be shocked if we're in like the 20s for the final score of this football game. I can see this being a matchup of two really good defenses kind of going back and forth. But I will say this, if we find a way to get our rhythm back offensively and we're connecting in our passing game, I don't think our running, look, if we have enough of a running game to help us not be so one-dimensional, but we're back to connecting like we've seen, I think their secondary is vulnerable enough to where we'll see us do what we need to do offensively to end up winning this football game. And whether that's, late score, whatever the case may be, I'm definitely confident in it. But I do see the avenues for where some trouble could come up, right? You definitely want to acknowledge that. That being said, let's go ahead and hit another timeout. We come back. We've got Ricky. We've got Smitty. We got you guys lined up on the phone lines. Want to hear from you guys. We got football going on, right? Ole Miss, Mississippi State. They're playing right now. The Egg Bowl is taking place. Ole Miss just scored again, so now they just went up 13-7 pending the extra point. So just paying attention to that. Again, Lane Kiffin and his big announcement. I don't know how long until we hear from him, but we're supposed to hear from him or the university after this game at some point. So staying up to date with that. We got to hit a quick timeout. We come back to the phone lines to go right here on the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
Your flagship home of Alabama.
Joey, what's up, man? Happy Friday. Need to start fast. Can't get behind the Auburn defense. Yeah, I agree. I think starting fast would be huge, man. Just because, I mean, the energy, you already know that the energy, the hostility that the atmosphere is going to create. I'd feel much more confident, right, if we got out to a quick start, just knowing that's going to help mitigate some of that from the crowd. Kind of take away some of that momentum that they're going to be trying to ride off of, right? They're going to try to consume all of that and utilize it. So if you start fast, that's one of the best ways to kind of help control that, Start fast and limit the big turnovers. Big turnovers and explosives, man. That makes those crowds go crazy. Kimberly, happy Friday. What's going on? Hope Bama beats Auburn tomorrow. Ty Simpson needs to stay focused, score more touchdowns, no turnovers. I agree. Just all he has to do, man, is take what the defense gives him. He doesn't need to try to force anything. We've got great playmakers. Now, we will be without Cuevas. I need to update everybody on the injury stuff. Mike and Jake are funny, man. Just trying to get through the day. That's understandable, man. Understandable. It's Thanksgiving yesterday, bro. But yeah, Cuevas will be out in this one, so that I'm not gonna lie, that does hurt you when one of your most reliable options is not going to be available for your quarterback, especially when you're talking about trying to get him back in the rhythm, man. Like tight ends are like instrumental with that. But we'll see the young guy, Caleb Edwards, who's shown his ability in the passing game. Marshall Pritchett. He got an opportunity against Eastern Illinois. Didn't see a whole bunch of them in the passing game, but I would assume that he'll get some opportunities in this game, and I think he'll be good, man. Let me pull this up. Oops, I need to do it over here. I think everybody's still doing 4-minute, man. It's that Thanksgiving week, so it's a little slow on our end. I think everybody's still in that Thanksgiving mode. Completely understandable. Let's see. Anybody y'all got in mind for replacement for Jamarcus Shepard? I'm curious what you guys think about that.
Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC Iron Bowl edition, man. We need to start leading with that. It's the Iron Bowl edition. We got the Iron Bowl tomorrow, man. Thanksgiving was yesterday. We all know how great that was. Hopefully it was great for you guys too. But we got the Iron Bowl coming up. You got the Egg Bowl going on right now. That's all fun and stuff. It's cute, right? But the real deal takes place tomorrow, and that's what we're talking about. 205-342-9904. Let's go to the phone lines. We've got Smitty up first, and we got Ricky. Smitty, welcome in.
Hey, Christian, how's it going?
What's up, Smitty? Happy Thanksgiving, man. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, I should say.
Hey, every day above ground is a great day. I didn't get to visit my family this year, but hey, it was cool just watching football all day.
Nothing wrong with that, brother. Hey, understand, man.
And living in Phoenix, we don't get the good food here like you do back down south. And I'll leave it at that. But, but here's the thing, right? First, I do have to say congratulations to Coach Shep. But I'm kind of worried at the same time. The 2015 for some of these jobs,
Mm-hmm.
At Oregon State, let's be real, it's a dead program, and I hope that he gets doing 7-5, 8-4, and leave for the first chance he gets. Because that job only paid their last coach $2 million. And how you gonna get a staff with that? And then what kind of NIL investment? Because it's a recruiting base. How's that going to affect the portal? Because you're still going to other people, depending on the type of player. But I think he'll do a good job. But it's all contingent on the type of program he's at. And I think in that program has to be realistic about who they are as well. If you get what I'm saying, in this day and age. Yeah. Because I found their games on the CW, so you know they ain't getting no money. So it's kind of hard in an era where you're paying. So I hope he does well. And I just hope that he gets out the first chance he gets, because you don't want to have that scarlet letter your first job. They don't care what the program is. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's why. I mean, look, who he has around him is going to be critical, right? That's why when we first hired Kalen DeBoer, and I know there's a lot of concern about, well, he's never coached in the SEC, and even people like my dad saying like, oh, well, how's he going to be able to recruit down in the South? He's never been in that geographic, right? And while those all were somewhat valid, quote unquote, concerns, my whole thing was always, listen, it really is about who you have around you, right? I have no experience in the West Coast other than going and playing a couple football games there. But best believe if I got hired there, you know what I would do? The first thing I would do is go hire people that are from that area that have those connections. You know what I mean? I would establish people amongst my staff to do that. And that's exactly what Kalen DeBoer did, right? He hired several people. He retained people. Yep. Right? Coaches that already had those pre-existing relationships. Then he went with those people to introduce himself, formally bringing his people with him as well. And then now we know, how well that has been working out for him. That said, with Jamarcus Shepard, it's going to be important that he has the right people around him, right? Different situation and scenario, but I think it's critical, to anybody's success. Now, you made a good point. I mean, what resources are they willing to give him? That's going to be important, because if he doesn't have his resources or the right people, I mean, I don't care how great of a coach one guy is, you can't do it on your own, especially in today's day and age with NIL and this and that. It's not easy. That said, I am curious to see if he does bring any other coaches with him, because we all know that's a very common thing, familiarity, right? That always happens. And two, here's another thing. I mean, you got NIL. Best believe, not just NIL, but transfer portal. Best believe if there's anybody on this team that's not having any opportunities right now, they might look to go with their former coach and maybe see if there's opportunities elsewhere. I'll give you an example. Maybe a guy like Jalen Hale. I know he kind of tweeted. Yeah, he's tweeted that, he's, trusting guys playing, and obviously he's, probably a little upset he hadn't had the opportunities he had liked. Well, maybe he gets a chance to follow his former, receiver coach out there. And works out well for him. So I don't know. It's just interesting to see how all this stuff develops.
Yeah, and I'll say this before we get on the game. UCLA has been an LA T4 forever. But the reason they struggle is they didn't pay their coaches and they never invested in the program. And they had good people. So I hope he gets that investment there. And because that's the only way you're going to win now. Because Alabama, yes, we're not like in Austin, Texas or anything, but they get the investment, and I hope he gets that, because he can only do what you can. You can't, you can't bake a cake without eggs. You know what I'm saying? So, but about the game, right? I think with this one here, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't believe in no voodoo. I believe in playing good ball. The last two trips Alabama made, they didn't play good football. It was no ghosts, no specters, anything like that. Let's just be real on that. I believe this defense, like everybody talking about the offensive line. Well, Auburn's offensive line isn't exactly the Philadelphia Eagles. They get had. Their secondary can be had. And I know they hyped it up Ashton Daniels and Deuce Knight, but since they fired Hugh Freeze, what was the great defense they went up against? I think it's the best defense they'll go up against. But it's incumbent on Ty Simpson playing clean football. And I'm not just talking about turnovers. It's being accurate. Yeah. You got to hit those passes that's there that extend drives. And I'm not talking about the deep shot. I'm talking about the 15-yard passes that he missed to Jeremy when Jeremy's open, stuff like that. You got to hit those to keep the drive going. Yeah. And because I believe this game might be 21-17, 21-13, something like that. But I think the reason that it's going to be close is the lack of the run game, and I believe it's more of a talent issue than a coach issue, because that's how you close out games, by running the football, and you control the clock. And I do applaud this staff for still only losing 2 games with that big of a deficiency. And I'll say this one last thing also. Alabama did do a decent job of corralling Lenore Sellers as a running QB. He was spinning, making people miss, did what he could, but he didn't have any gas runs. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that if they use the linebackers, if they keep doing the good job they have, I think we'll be fine. And I just think that, and I know they have a great receiver core, but we have a pretty daggone good secondary also. And I think long as we cut down the penalties they've been doing all year, the running backs pass block, and I think Ty having to know when to go to the next play and hit those passes that a big quarterbacks can make, I think we got this. We'll win and then see what happens. It's the championship game. But, hey, you have a good weekend, Christian.
Yeah, you too, Smitty. I appreciate it, man. Good stuff, bro. Good to hear from you, man. Yeah, no, I'm with Smitty on that. You know, playing clean for Ty to me is one of the biggest keys. And like you mentioned, hitting on those passes like we talked about earlier, finding a way to connect with those again, because those are huge, right? Like you said, you know, extending drives or really in those critical moments. If you go back and look, again, whether it's South Carolina or even Oklahoma, I mean, there'd be some times where we have those guys, right, where there's those digs, you know, attacking the middle of the field. You know, usually Ty had been better than almost anybody in the country with that. But then you see, you know, over the last few weeks, we've had some misses there. And I just feel like, you know, playing on the road, hostile environment, a rivalry game against another really good defense, you're just not going to be able to afford some of those misses. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the only thing, right? Because we saw he had those misses against Oklahoma, and we still would have survived, right, if we didn't have the turnovers. So, again, I'm not saying one thing is going to just be the thing. But to me, when I look at this matchup, I feel like those could add up and end up being an issue if they're not corrected. However, the positive is I do feel like going into this game, knowing Ty, knowing the passion that he plays with. I mean, it's the Iron Bowl, right? As a competitor, normally you play your best games in these big-time matchups like this, and I'm hoping that's the case for Ty, and it can be a rebound game for him because we definitely need him. I think a lot of this game will ride on what he's able to do because we always talk about the guys up front. We know how important that is. But you got to give credit where it's due. Offensive line play has been pretty solid recently, I will say. Now, are they perfect? No. But in terms of keeping them clean, they've been doing a pretty good job. You know, a lot of the breakdowns recently, there's a couple up front with the guys, but not as many. You know, a lot of the sacks recently really fall on the running backs failing in their pass pro. You had 2 backs give up sacks against Oklahoma. And so we all know that, you know, sometimes people just surface level are thinking, oh, it's the offensive line. But really go back and watch, man, the backs had to be better. So it's really a collective effort. Those guys just have to help, you know, keep them clean. But he's got to do his part in this game for sure. And I think we'll have success. We got to hit a timeout. When we come back, we go back to the phone lines. We got Ricky up next again. We got Slade Bolden joining us at 12:30. We're talking the Iron Bowl. We're talking Jamarcus Shepard taking the job at Oregon State. What does that mean for Alabama? Where do we turn to next? We'll talk about a little bit of that and more when we come back right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
Blast your taste buds with the new trolley-flavored Mountain Dew. Bold Dew meets sour sweet trolley candy. It's a flavor collision you've got to try. But hurry, it's only here for a limited time. Mountain Dew Trolley. Do the dew, do the worm.
Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller. Let's see. Why would Jamarcus Shepard take that job? He's got to go against a lot of teams in the Big Ten. I would have stayed at Bama. Well, here's the thing I'll say. They're actually in the Pac-12 still, if I'm not mistaken. Why? You can correct me on that if I'm wrong, but they are in the Pac-12. They didn't make the jump like some of these other schools did. So they're in the Pac-12. I mean, this year, these are some of the teams that they played. They played Cal, Fresno State, Texas Tech, Oregon, Houston, App State, Wake Forest, Lafayette, Washington State, Sam Houston, and Tulsa. And then they play tomorrow against Washington State. So they're actually still in the Pac-12. So they won't have to play that Big Ten schedule like some of those former Pac-12 teams that moved. But I'll just say this: why would he take the job? We talked about some of the issues with it. If you're a guy like him, man, and you've never been a head coach, and you have that opportunity present itself, I mean, could he have waited and tried to see if another opportunity came up? Sure, but as a guy who's he was a co-offensive coordinator. I mean, he's a receiver coach primarily. To get that opportunity, I mean, that's a big opportunity for a guy like that. And he's a confident man. He's going to have confidence in himself. He's going to choose to look at the things that he feels confident that he can go out there and do, regardless of if there's going to be struggles or not. And so I think he views it like that. So I don't blame him. I mean, to get any head coaching opportunity is a big blessing. And most coaches, not all, some coaches prefer to stay as coordinators, but without a doubt, that's kind of the goal for a lot of coaches, Oh, thank you, Wyatt. Wyatt added this, by the way, guys. Said Pac-12 will add Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Texas State, Utah State, and Colorado State for football next year. Oregon State and Washington State still in that conference, right? So there are some of the lone people that were retained or remained in the Pac-12, and they're adding some of those schools. And as you heard, I mean, they're somewhat smaller schools, maybe. So I think he's got a chance to be successful there, right? I mean, I don't know, how what the ceiling is for that, but I think he's got a chance to do some good stuff there. I just hope they supply him with all the resources necessary in order to have that success. That's my biggest thing.
It's 47 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Festive Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. You heard the Christmas music. Well, that means Christmas is around the corner. What better way to show somebody you love them than to get them some premium arch supports from the Good Feet Store that are designed to eliminate and alleviate all types of pain, whether it's foot pain, knee pain, back pain, hip pain, you name it, they knock it out. So head on over to the Good Feet Store. You can find them here in Tuscaloosa in Midtown Village, right there off McFarland Boulevard. Easy to find. Or you can always go to their website to find the nearest location to you. They are nationwide, 5 stores in Alabama, Birmingham, Mobile, some others to name a few. But just type in your zip code and they'll point you in the right direction. Plus, you can get more information. Schedule an appointment if you like to do that as well. Again, that is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. And they also are in charge of the Good Feet Kick for Cash Challenge. Unfortunately, no more home games unless we get that home playoff berth, which not too sure if that'll happen. We'll have to see. But they do that for the home games. And you basically signed up to kick field goals for free cash. So make sure you guys stay up to date when they do some more stuff like that. And I'll keep you guys in the loop if they have anything planned in the future, because that's always a good opportunity. I want you guys always to win, right? It's like you get a chance to win sign football if you get the score prediction right. So we will be taking score predictions again today. 205-342-9904 is the number to the phone lines. We're going back to it. We got Ricky up next. Ricky, welcome in.
What's going on, y'all? Happy holidays.
Hey, happy holidays, Ricky. What's up, man? How's everything? How's your Thanksgiving, man?
Man, it was good. I had my sister with me in LA, and we ordered Chinese food, and we just made sides. We didn't do
Ricky,
the whole turkey thing.
Hold on. Did you say you ordered Chinese food on Thanksgiving? I'm not one to judge. I love Chinese food, but that's the first. I've never heard somebody say they ordered Chinese food for Thanksgiving. Are you Asian by chance?
Man, I'm too old now to pretend like I like all this extra stuff on Thanksgiving. Like,
oh, Ricky,
it's all about the side.
Ricky, hold on. Wait. So wait, you ordered Chinese food, but then did Thanksgiving sides?
Yes.
Ricky, that might be the most LA thing I've heard, man. They got you, bro. They consumed you. So you had General Tso's chicken on a plate right next to some candy yams, some green bean casserole, stuffing, dressing, mashed potatoes. Like, Ricky, what in the world?
Man, first of all, it was Dragon King we had on
Dragon King.
It's a place called Dragon King off Crenshaw Boulevard. It's real good.
Okay.
They stay open. They all about their business So I was like, all right, and it was unanimous.
Listen. It sounds great. Not the combination of the two. That sounds pretty weird to my taste buds. I'm not judging. I don't know if I can eat General Tso's chicken on the same plate as all that other stuff I just mentioned.
No,
What'd you
we
order?
had,
What
we
kind
had
of
like
Chinese
roasted
food?
duck.
Okay,
No,
all
it
right.
was good. We had roasted duck. You know, like I think we got like some vegetables, like some stir fried vegetables.
Okay, all
We
right.
had a couple of egg rolls, and then because we still had the bird. You know, we still had like all the regular sides. It was just, I guess that would be the only thing that was like different. I guess the duck instead of
Instead
like
of
turkey.
turkey. You know what? Like I said, I ain't one to judge, man. I listen. I love it for y'all, man. That's I'm not gonna lie. I've never heard that in my life, but that's what's up, man. Egg rolls, duck, and then some traditional Thanksgiving food, man. That's one hell of a plate you got.
Some dumplings.
Dumplings,
It was real good, man.
okay. Wow.
All
Yeah.
right.
Go talk to me, man.
So up until Wednesday, I had us losing the Iron Bowl.
Hold on. Talk to me, Ricky. Hold on now. Hold on. That don't sound like you, Ricky. Hold on. What you really what you doing out there in LA, brother? You had us losing up till Wednesday. Hold on. Talk to me. What?
Only
He's a fair
because
weather fan.
Oh my, okay. No,
no,
why?
man.
Don't bring that on the airways. No, why? Jesus.
Oh man! All right, so check this out. The only reason it's not that I think like Auburn is the better team at all. I thought it would be like another Oklahoma situation where like I think Ty kind of forces throws through a good secondary or maybe not as good as a secondary as like Oklahoma, but I thought he would I think he might force throws. I think he's gonna turn the ball over. It's gonna probably be the same kind of game, Oklahoma, like where I think Alabama is the clear better team, but like turnovers just get the better of us.
Beating
And
ourselves.
like beating ourselves. That's essentially what I thought.
Gotcha.
I just think, but like you sleep on it a little bit, and now I'm just kind of like, well, if you don't ask him to do much but just play his game, I think we'll be all right. Like I have no questions on like what our defense can do. I think defensively speaking, I think we're on par with Oklahoma and Ohio State defensively, at least. I just think Ty needs to play his game. If he doesn't force anything, he doesn't turn the ball over. O-line has to do their job. I think we'll be all right. If not, it can, in my opinion, go the way of Oklahoma, where we like lose by 2 or 3 because of turnovers.
I hear what you're saying, and listen, I'll say this: if we go out there and play how we played last few weeks offensively, right, and we're out of rhythm, we're missing on some of those key throws in the game. We're not able to really consistently run the football. We look one-dimensional, and we turn the football over. You're not wrong. I mean, I hate to say this, but I mean, there's definitely a chance you don't win the football game if you're Alabama. I mean, and that's not to make anybody upset or get in your feelings, because people, they hear things how they want to hear and they start flipping out. Again, let me repeat: if you go out there and go play bad ball, like I just said, that includes the turnovers, not converting on the third downs, missing throws that we normally. Again, that's what I'm saying. That is a recipe to lose a football game, especially in a hostile, territory like this when they got all that energy stuff. However, I'm trying to lean into the side of it, Ricky, where I'm like, hopefully we use the motivation of not playing great offensively the last few weeks, going against our rival. Hopefully that helps kind of, give us that boost to get back on track. And I'm trying to lean into that. However, I do think there still will be some challenges in this game. I mean, listen, when you play on the road in an environment like this against your rival, I mean, it's going to be loud. It's going to be chaotic. They're going to make a play or two. The crowd's going to go crazy. You got to have composure, control everything. Like, that might come up. But I think what makes me feel better, Ricky, is even though their offense, I'm talking about Auburn now, has had some success with the last 2 weeks, I'm with you. I think our defense has been playing damn near lights out, right? The only thing our defense doesn't do a whole bunch of is, I would say, like some of the negative plays, right? I don't think we force as many negative plays as some others. I'm not talking about turnovers. I'm saying like negative plays. I know like a few weeks ago, statistically, in terms of like sacks and tackles for loss, we were still really low in those categories, which again, it's not like the only category, but you get what I'm saying. That's one thing I feel like we could do more of. And I think Kane Womack would agree. That said, as long as you find a way to really limit the explosives from some of their key skill guys and control the dual threat nature of their quarterbacks, I don't see Auburn scoring a whole bunch of points. Personally, I really don't. That's why I think it ends up being more of like a 24-17, 21-17 type deal, kind of like Smitty was saying. But again, I think that's why I'm putting so much emphasis on our offense. I'm not worried about our defense hardly. Our offense, I understand those concerns you're talking about because I know, we've had some challenges recently, even at home, just as an offense. Now take that same offense on the road in the environment that you're going to face against this Auburn defense that is a really good front seven. Now, I'll tell you this. So secondary-wise, they give up a number of explosive plays. So hopefully we can find a way to get back on track with our explosives, even though we haven't really been a team to rely on these big explosives like we did last year, right? But there will be some opportunities, and if we can take advantage of those, I mean, I think our offense can do some good stuff, but they're going to be challenged, and that's a fact. I mean, this Auburn defense, they got a good front seven for sure.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, this team is the weirdest thing. I think it might have been, it might be like the first team in a while that I thought can beat everybody, but could also lose to everybody if not careful. I think, and it's not that I think Auburn can score either. Like, I don't think Oklahoma could score. Like, right. Oklahoma only had like one like offensive touchdown when we played them. And like I thought we did really good defensively. Like, if not for a fumble from Ryan, we might have held into a field goal like that. Like, so right. I think it's just the turnovers, special teams, defensively. Like, I got like no like complaint. I think Kane Womack. I've been with him since last year, like most of us. But I think he's just been. We've just been like running like heavily on him, which is like surprising this year. But yeah. I got us winning the game. Up until Wednesday, I just think Ty's going to like force throws, a few picks, some field goals, really turn the table in this game. I think Toffee misses like maybe 2 field goals. It's just, and I keep making this joke, after the South Carolina game, why that was again another reason why that was bad coaching by Shane Beamer to like let us score. I keep making that little joke. But I think he'll figure it out, man. Like I think Will Riker had like some bad kicks like in his career or his tenure here, but I think he'll figure it out. I think we'll win, not by a lot. I think by 2 field goals, not a full touchdown. That's kind of where I have us right now. Like, again, unless Ty forces throws, turn the ball over. I do see us losing the game, but I do have us winning.
No, I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's understandable given the nature of our offense not being as clean and as sound in recent weeks, and you're going on the road against your rival. I hear exactly what you're saying, Ricky. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey,
I hope you have. Yeah, go ahead.
Tell all your YouTube listeners that me and you don't got no beef, man. I swear.
No, I'm always giving you a hard time. There's no beef there, bro. It's all love, man. Ricky's one of our day ones, man. We always appreciate it, bro.
All right, y'all.
Yes, sir. We'll see you, bro. Have a good weekend, man. Good deal. All right, we hit the time out. We come back. We'll be joined by Reagan Starn of R&R Cigars, getting smoking hot picks. We continue talking this Iron Bowl game tomorrow, right here on the Miller's Edge, 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
WTBC.
Not beating any team in the SEC with 3 turnovers. Yeah, really in any league, man. I'm telling you that stat literally every Monday we had it pulled up on our in our team meetings. It literally was like a chart with all the it wasn't like every single team, but it was at least like from the conference and then I guess some of the other ones. But it always showed who was had what turnover margin or ratio, and then what was the result of the game, and then percentages and all that. And then it kept going throughout the season. So like it would say like up to like week 8, the teams that were +1 had this percent of winning, +2, +3, 0, -1, -2, -3, and it kept up. So basically, every week we would get a turnover ratio report. We would always discuss us, and the next slide literally would show the chart with everybody else. So I mean, turnover battle in football is one of the biggest indicators of winning or losing a football game. And if you're -3, I literally I don't remember the exact stat, but if you're -3, it was no greater than like 15 to 20% chance of winning. So always got to be clean with the football. I will say this though, I don't think Auburn has a whole bunch of turnovers on the year. For some reason the stat page isn't loading. But one thing that they are really bad with, and I forgot to bring this up, I'll mention hour number 2, giving up sacks. Their offensive line play in terms of keeping their quarterbacks clean hasn't been great. But when you also have dual threat quarterbacks, RPO games, stuff like that, guys holding the football, trying to extend plays, it's inevitable. You're going to give up a number of sacks. But they've given up 41 to our 20 on the year, right? So there's going to be some opportunities. I mean, they had Ashton Daniels throw the ball 44 times or so against Vanderbilt in that game that they went overtime with them. So we're going to see, but definitely have an opportunity. And he got Quay Russaw back too, man. So I'm excited to see him and Yanze really get a chance. I know he came back for Eastern Illinois, but I want to see them actually, in a real game setting, be that tandem. Now, I'm not going to say my expectations for Quay are going to be too high either, because I know what it is like working back from an injury, but I just think it'd be good at least to have him back, man. I went and had China buffet for Thanksgiving a few years back. Didn't have anybody to have Thanksgiving with. Oh, man, Chris, I hate to hear that. Hey, if it makes you feel better, man, I mean, my family's all scattered, bro. I mean, it literally – and after I lost my mom, man, I mean, it's even more of a situation like that. So it's typically me, my brother, then my best friend that we go over there. So hey, I understand, man. I definitely I feel for you, and I understand how you feel from experience as well. But just know, man, it's not always about who you're with, even though it is unfortunate. We'd all prefer to be with a big family, like you see a lot of other people, but as long as you still can find some good, genuine people around you, whether that's friends from a church or just friends in general, or even if it ends up being you, man, as long as you're enjoying it, making the most of it, and finding ways to be thankful and having a good time, man, that's what matters. But hell, if you're around here, man, I'll invite you to come hang out with me next time. You can hang out with me if you don't have anybody, man. I always hate to hear that, bro.
Here is college football playoff national
I hope yours was
champion
pretty good this year,
Christian
Chris.
Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome back into this Friday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. We're now joined by Reagan Starner of R&R Cigars, as we do every Friday, to get his smoking hot picks. A lot of good games this weekend. Kicking off today already, you got the Egg Bowl going on, big one being the Iron Bowl tomorrow. Reagan, welcome in. Happy Thanksgiving, or late Thanksgiving to you. How was it, man?
I honestly, I was sick all day yesterday. So,
oh no.
Yeah, I only had like one plate, so I was really disappointed.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I'm better today, but like Leslie had cooked like this beautiful prime rib. We don't do turkey because turkey is a mid meat. And I'm tired of people pretending like turkey's good. If if turkey was good, you would make it more than one time a year, and not just only on sandwiches. So miss me with the turkey takes. But I mean, she made the turkey, the mac and cheese, the creamed corn, the mashed potatoes, and like I was just feeling so bad that I just couldn't eat more than one plate. So very, very sad. But
You
I
got
was
leftovers,
thankful.
right? I mean, if you're feeling better
Yeah.
today or tomorrow, so you can always leftovers sometimes for whatever reason almost hit even more than the same day.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. That sounds good though, man. Shout out to Leslie doing her thing.
It was delicious. Yeah. You know, it took a long time to get her to where she was the master of the kitchen, but you know, she embraced that. And because when we first started dating, she couldn't make a sandwich. And,
okay, Reagan, you're gonna get yourself in trouble, man. Yeah.
I'm telling you, she couldn't make a sandwich, and now she cooks these gourmet meals. It's amazing.
That's the growth and evolution we like to hear, man. Shout out to Leslie.
Yeah.
Leslie, he's just he's being a good husband. He's not throwing you under the bus. He said it's great now, so that's.
I'm bragging.
Yeah,
about
that's
how
true.
good of a cook she is.
That's true.
Yeah.
You definitely are. Well, Reagan, I need you to brag about some of these scores that we got this weekend. You've been pretty solid with a lot of the picks that we had, and it's rivalry weekend.
Hey,
So go ahead.
Before we get that, can I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard you guys on the segment before talking about Talty.
Wait, when was it? Wait, talking about Monday or something?
Or the guy, I don't remember, but I heard you talking about Talty.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel? Because I'm torn on this thing. So, like, on the one hand, I understand Kalen DeBoer saying, don't boo the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, like he's like, I wish the fans had his back like the guys in the locker room. And on the other hand, I didn't see Talty having the back of the long snapper after he missed the kick.
That's a good point you bring up.
I'm curious your take because you played. So, it's a little different.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you asked that because I'm not going to lie. I had one perspective or stance initially, and then after, I guess, talking with at least one of our callers and just kind of hearing some other perspectives, it's kind of shifted a little bit. But this is what I would say. Because initially, going back to him yelling at the long snapper, I wasn't a big fan of it because in that situation, yes, I mean, the snap could have been a little bit better. But in my opinion, I get it's a competitive sport. I know I always give the example of us, going at each other on the sideline a little bit. But that was like, all right, a guy has a mental error or bust that leads to a big play. Like, we're holding each other accountable. And at first, I didn't really register that as the same thing. That to me was like, it almost felt like a cop out because I'm like, yes, the snap wasn't great, but he still had an opportunity. It was a chip shot. He missed it. And his first thing was going off on that guy. And I didn't really like that. And I didn't really think of it until somebody was like, well, technically, how is that different than what you just were explaining with like you and your teammates kind of getting into it on the sideline? And I was like, maybe it's not as different as I initially thought, but I still like, for example, when we had that big, not blow up, but like guys literally about to throw blows against Southern Cal, we're up by a bunch of scores. That to me was showing the passion because we didn't want to give up more touchdowns or more points than we needed to. And a guy had a bust on the play. And so we were, going at it, holding each other accountable. Then it wasn't like, and we were on the sideline, you know what I mean? Like we don't know the cameras. I guess they don't know it either. But to me, I'm like, all right, maybe y'all discuss it on the sideline, but you immediately just start ripping the guy right there. I don't know. It just felt a little bit different. But after talking with some of our listeners, I'm like, okay, I don't want to sound like I'm being a hypocrite. So I like competitiveness. I like people holding people accountable. But when it has a feel that it's like I'm not picking on the guy, but I'm throwing him under the bus, even though I'm not doing my job great either, because there's been a lot of other times he has had good snaps and still missed. That's why it kind of rubbed me. In terms of the booing, I do want to say this. I don't ever condone that or encourage that. I understand people, pay their hard-earned money and it's their life to live. They want to do that. I mean, no one's really stopping them. I just don't encourage it because I do know at the end of the day, no one feels worse than the players, the coaches themselves. And I know he's, upset with himself already. And I don't think it's a great look seeing our own fans boo our guys, even though I know in the NFL you see, fans and whatnot boo. I don't encourage that or condone it. I'm not a fan of that personally. And just because I was a little critical of his response and his attitude and even leaning into like the hand gestures of encouraging it, I still would not promote or encourage anybody to do that. That said, I think as a player in today's society, you have to almost go into it and expect there's going to be more attention, more heat on you, whether that's the booing in the stadium or on social media, because of the world we live in with NIL. I know from speaking to a lot of these fans nowadays and listeners, they feel a lot more entitled nowadays than they ever have, given that these universities are asking them for their money. They're donating their hard-earned money. So inevitably, they feel a little bit more entitled to do certain things, even though I don't agree with that personally, but that is what it is. So I think these players just have to kind of almost acknowledge, hey, man, fans are going to be a little bit more critical, more tough on us, given that we're able to benefit from NIL. So that's kind of my thought. Look, at the end of the day, we need to cheer for the guy because we got to rely on him, and you never know when it can come down to him. We need him to be as confident as possible. And I personally don't think booing him's the best, but who knows? Maybe it might have gave him some motivation and he kicks his ass off tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the booing, clearly,
Mhm.
but it is tough because like, where do you draw the line on some of the criticisms here for players? Because it is. I mean, especially some of the guys that we know are making more than any of us will ever make in our lifetimes. You know what I mean? So it's like it does get a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going and criticizing. Like, I've decided I'm not going to do any more criticizing of players or of coaches, but I do have questions.
Yeah, I hear that. No, I hear what you're saying. And in terms of like Coach DeBoer's stance, I mean, in the media, he's definitely taking the right approach, because you don't want to sound like he's almost like dog whistling, like that.
Yeah.
He allows that. However, I just know another reason I was okay with being a little more, frustrated initially with his attitude, not him missing the kicks. I mean, if you miss kicks, you miss kicks. It's frustrating, but I was more so like I didn't really like the attitude that I thought he was displaying. My thing is, though, with Coach Saban, anytime our kickers miss kicks, I mean, and I don't know about how he handled it in the media. I didn't really listen to him talk like that. But in practice or in the game, he used to say the same thing. Do your blank job. You have one blank job. Like that. He literally said that.
Right.
So, I mean, he didn't really care about if the snap was a little – I mean, he would also yell at that guy. But you get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm used to. So I guess just take that for what it is. Interesting point you bring up there. Interesting, but hopefully he gets some confidence, because we might need him tomorrow. Speaking of some of these
I think
rivalries,
we're going to need him tomorrow.
yeah, there's a good chance. I mean, it's Iron Bowl, and kickers are pretty important, man. Before we get there, Reagan, we got a number of good rivalry games. You got the Egg Bowl going on. This looks like a pretty interesting game. I got it pulled up on the side of my monitor. Ole Miss is up. Might be Lane Kiffin's last home game as a head coach at Ole Miss. But then you've got Georgia Tech coming up here in a couple short hours, man. Let's start there. Big one for Georgia. I mean, they still got a lot of stuff in front of them. They need to win this game. Georgia Tech, 9-2. Brent Key's doing a good job. They're in the top 25. They're at 23 right now. I think they had another kind of questionable loss not long ago. But what do you think about that game there, Reagan, in Atlanta?
Well, it's another battle of two Saban assistants.
Yeah.
Brent Key was awesome. Brent Key was probably one of my favorite coaches here when he was here. Love that guy. Georgia Tech really needs to win, I think, in order to make the playoff and keep the ACC from being left out. Having said that, I think Georgia is going to have their way with Georgia Tech. It's a 15.5-point spread. Honestly, I probably take Georgia Tech minus the points. But I think Georgia wins the game, and I don't know. I think Georgia blows them out. I'm sorry.
Really?
Sorry, Brent. You're the best. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Georgia, and I mean, sorry. I love Brent Key, man. I hate picking against him.
But I mean, you can love the guy, but I mean, we're just talking football scores. It's nothing personal.
Like, I love locks, but if they're playing
you would
Oregon,
not take him. As much as you love locks, you unfortunately you have no choice but to bet against him a number of weeks out of the year. Hopefully he gets some more help over there. Reagan, this one's a little bit more important, right? You got Texas A&M and Texas. Texas A&M loses it. They aren't in the college, excuse me, they're definitely not in the SEC championship game. Probably still in the college football playoffs. No, actually, not probably. They will be. But Texas, on the other hand, if they win this game, even though they're a 3-loss team right now, there's a good chance that they do find themselves in the playoffs. This one is Texas A&M is -2.5, so it's expected to be very close. It's in Austin. How do you see that one going, Reagan?
This is a weird one because Texas is so just hot and cold. Like, how do you beat Oklahoma but lose to Florida? And then, I mean, every other game, it's like, it's just been 3-point win over Vandy, 7-point win in overtime over Mississippi State, 3-point win in overtime versus Kentucky. I don't feel like Texas is. I just don't feel like they're there. I mean, Arch Manning needs to play the game of his life to win. I just don't see it. So I'm going A&M -2.5.
Yeah, that one's definitely got my attention. To be fair, Texas has been playing, or at least Arch Manning for sure. He's been playing a lot better in recent weeks, and that's what makes it a lot more interesting for me. Even though Texas A&M's got a really good defense, I'm excited about that game, and that is 6:30 this evening on ABC. So again, I mean, that has some implications when it comes to the SEC championship game, playoff picture, all that stuff. So a lot of people probably will be watching that one for sure. Before we get to the big one, in the Iron Bowl, I got one more I want to ask you about. It's the big shoe, right? Ohio State, Michigan. A lot of people, and I wouldn't say a lot of people, but I've been hearing this, Reagan. I'm curious your thoughts on this. A lot of people, or some people, let me stop saying a lot, feel that rivalry game, it clears the Iron Bowl, which I thought a lot of people had the Iron Bowl as being the biggest rivalry. But I've been hearing a number of people recently say that they would give it to Ohio State, Michigan. Right now, Ohio State's -9.5 point favorite in this game. It's tomorrow at 11 on Fox. I'll say this, though. I mean, even though Ohio State is favored to win the game, there's a handful of people that do feel like Michigan. Don't count Michigan out is what I should say. What do you feel about this one? Michigan's playing for a playoff spot pretty much.
Yeah. Look, I don't understand the people that say that Ohio State and Michigan's a better rivalry than than any other rivalry. I probably put that one on the top rivalries in college football. It'd probably be like bottom. If it was like a top 10, it would be like, if it was, top rival.
Oh man, looks like we might have lost him accidentally. He's definitely going to circle back. Why? We'll keep going here just because if we can, let's combine breaks because we got Slade at 12:30. So I'll just wait for, if you want to dial him back up or he'll call back. That'll be perfect because I'll just get out of here at like 24, 25, and then we'll go straight into Slade. But while we get Reagan back on the line, because that probably should be in the next 20 seconds or so, I don't know if you guys have seen that or maybe it's just me, but I've been seeing a number of people recently. I think maybe was it Joel Klatt was one of them, but they were talking about that. Personally, I've never been to that game. It looks like we've got a brawl about to break out in the Egg Bowl. That's interesting. Benches started to clear for a second. But I've never been to Ohio State-Michigan game. I know it's, a big one and there's a lot of history there. But personally, at least growing up as a kid in South Carolina, even though I wasn't a huge Alabama fan, like I always watched Alabama from a distance, but it wasn't until I was probably, 15, and so I really became a pretty big Alabama fan because they were recruiting me, right? They were one of the earlier schools to recruit me. That said, I always knew of the Iron Bowl growing up, right? Even though my biggest rivalry was, growing up in South Carolina, was the Palmetto Bowl, which South Carolina Clemson, and that was a big deal. But I always felt like the Iron Bowl just kind of took center stage when it came to rivalries. So I don't know. Michigan, Ohio State. I guess I'll have to just go attend it one year to actually get a true, gauge on. I guess that one I can't speak on it from experience. I mean, I know what I've seen watching it and from a distance, but not really embracing it. Now, I do hear that the game itself is incredible. And that is something that you got to, if you're a football fan, man, you at least got to go to one of them. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's way off, but I just don't think it is exactly where the Iron Bowl is. But I'm clearly biased. So take that for what it is. All right, we got Reagan back on the lines. Reagan, sorry, we got disconnected there. I think you were finishing your comments.
I was like in the middle of like a really good rant. I was like really happy about it. I was like, yeah, this is a good rant. And then I like looked down and I was like, oh, I had like disconnected. Look,
good.
I think it's a fraudulent rivalry. I think Ohio State is a fraud. I think Ryan Day's hair is a fraud. It's painted black. I wouldn't be surprised if his mustache and beard was like Hulk Hogan back during the NWO, like painted on too. I think Michigan's going to beat them. Justice Haynes might go crazy. But I mean, this is Ryan Day's Achilles heel. It's a bottom tier rivalry in college athletics. But yeah, go Michigan.
Wow. You're taking Michigan, man. To be clear, and I just found this out thanks to Wyatt, man. He's on his stuff. Looks like Justice Haynes is going to be out versus Ohio State. Does that shift your take on the game at all?
No, I don't think so. It'll be all right. I think Ohio State. I think Ohio State's fraudulent. I think they're paper champs. It's kind of like Apollo Creed when he went to go fight Ivan Drago, man. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
Or
man.
it's like Rocky when he went to go fight Mr. T. You know.
Wow. I don't know if I'm with you to an extent. Like I hear you, but I will say, I mean, they're a good team in my eyes from watching them. Now, I do want to see them perform against other good teams, right? I know really Texas is one of the few that I feel like was a decent team. Then we saw what Texas ended up being and how that game went, but that's still just week one. A lot of things do change. That said, man, I'm definitely going to be glued in on that one now, man. You're making me curious about that game. Alabama, Auburn, the Iron Bowl, right? The biggest rivalry of them all, according to most, takes place tomorrow evening. Reagan, we're on the road, Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn. We all know a lot of weird stuff happens in these games. A lot of Alabama fans are tired of hearing that, but it is true. I mean, there's just been some interesting things over the years. You got an Auburn football team with a little bit of new life in them. DJ Durkin taking over. You've got Derek Nix taking over as play calling. They've put up over 100 points and 1,100 yards the past 2 weeks, and they've got a pretty good defense, man. What do you think about the Iron Bowl? Alabama's a minus 5.5 point favorite right here. Do you think Alabama's offense can get back on track, handle the hostility of Jordan-Hare Stadium, and walk away with the dub with everything still in front of them?
Man, it depends on how. I mean, it all comes down to how Ty plays. You know.
Yeah.
Like if he doesn't turn the ball over like crazy, could be a pretty easy game. You know, I don't know. It's like with Oklahoma. I mean, should have been a 40. The offense should probably scored about 40 points, but turnovers being what they are, I don't know. Auburn game's so weird. I hate the whole superstition about, Jordan-Hare Stadium. I think Alabama wins handily, but I'm sure it'll be close because why wouldn't it be? It shouldn't be close. The talent discrepancy on the field and the quality of coaches shouldn't be. It shouldn't be close. It's how does Coach Shepard leaving? I know he's not like left yet, but how does Coach Shepard's announcement of leaving a day before the Iron Bowl affect the team? All the rumors going on about everybody else on the team with the coaches leaving. There's a lot of like weird stuff that's been going on this week, trying to distract these boys from, Iron Bowl. But I think Alabama wins, and I think they cover the 5.5. I think it's probably like 27 to like 17 type game.
I hear you. 27-17. Yeah, I mean, that's like, I think it's definitely probably low 20s area. I was thinking like 24, 21, 24, 17. So we're not far off. I feel you on that. And I 100% agree with you. I think a lot rides on Ty Simpson and his ability to get back in his rhythm, protect the football, and make things happen. Because I don't think Auburn's going to be able to score many points. I mean, I think they might have some plays here and there because they always seem to find a way to have an explosive or two. And when they have those dual threat quarterbacks, they'll be able to make some plays with their legs. But we've been, I mean, red hot in the red zone, and we don't give up many touchdowns. So I don't see Auburn scoring many points. So I just think it really falls on our offense. Taking care of the football, can't have any issues with turnovers like we did against Oklahoma, and finding ways to connect like we did earlier in the year. So I'm with you all the way. Reagan Starn of R&R Cigars, who joined us every Friday. Reagan, before we let you go, man, remind everybody again about the food drive. It's still going on for you guys, right?
We donated all the food.
Oh, good.
Yep. So the food drive's over. Don't know how many people we fed. We had a lot of food. Had a lot of cans. We're going to start getting into the Christmas toy drive.
Nice.
We're going to work with my daughter's daycare, First Baptist, to get some toys to some kids that wouldn't have Christmas. So,
heck yeah,
always important.
Definitely, when you get that information, man, pass it on over, and we'll definitely be spreading the word. Now that the food drive is concluding, big thanks to everybody that participated and helped Reagan and R&R Cigars do their mission of feeding families this holiday season. And now they're going to turn their attention to the toy drive coming up for Christmas. So be on the lookout for that. But you already know R&R Cigars, 2703 Gary Fitz Street. If you're looking for a place to watch the game tomorrow, definitely check them out. Cigars galore, best humidor in the Southeast. Over 160 bourbons that you can try. Plus, they're now including the Alabama liquor that is new and out. So you can check that out there again. And be on the lookout for the toy drive that's coming up as well. Again, that's R&R Cigars plus code Miller's Edge on the website, rnrcigars.com for that discount. Reagan, I appreciate you, man. Happy holidays. And have a great weekend, brother.
All right, bye.
See ya. Roll Tide. Good deal. All right, we got to hit a timeout. Big thanks to Reagan joining us. Up next, we got Slim Shady, Slade Bolden, hopping on here on the stream. You can check that out at YouTube at the Miller's Edge. We'll do that when we come back right on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
Tide 100.9 and Pearl River Resort online at pearlriverresort.com.
Slim Shady.
See, Billy.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Did you shave? No, he still got. You shave it though?
There's a little struggle.
It's coming back in now.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a little more business professional, but it's coming.
Yeah, you look good.
It's growing back. Well, I appreciate it. It's not like it's one of those things that it's not really whether I feel like I don't look good or do whatever's better with or without a beard. It's like it's just weird. I've been
just different.
Yeah, I've had a beard the way I've had it. I don't even know how long. Last 6 years, something like that, of my life. And so when I do shave, I feel like I'm 12 again.
No, I was. You don't look 12. You look good, man. I was about to say it's not a huge difference.
Yeah,
but looks clean.
First time you've seen like anything from here down on my face.
Well, I was about to say, I'm like, now I think about it, man. I don't think you've ever. Did you ever do that in college?
I think I did it maybe one time first summer during workouts. But that was it. I think I shaved during COVID, but no one saw me then. So yeah, I haven't gone any way from it at all.
I'm laughing because you said the first summer, and what's funny is there's something about first summer when you get here and making decisions with hair and stuff. Because the first summer I got here, I legit balded my shit. Like when I say bald, I swear to God, like I'm talking about like bald.
Not even bud. Oh, okay.
Bald,
Your face, yeah.
No, my head. But I'm saying this type of bald, like no hair.
Wow.
Yeah. But see, what happened was, so I used to cut my hair in college, and I was doing a routine, man, just trimming it up in Bryant, and I nicked it. Like I did a slight nick on it, and I went against the grade, and I was like, damn. And I really could have just left it like a mad low buzz.
Yeah.
But I was like, why? Why not? I'm just gonna legit bald my head. I'm just gonna go
You and
straight.
Razor.
Bro, legit. Hey, listen, I went like legit bald, and when I tell you, bro, it's funny because Jamie Moses is my roommate on my side because there's like 2 and 2. He was like taking a nap or some shit because when he woke up, I remember he literally just like looked and his mouth just dropped like, what the?
I can't
He was like,
imagine
bro, you
Jamie
good?
on you that morning.
Oh, dude, he literally was just like he honestly like disbelief because he's like,
yeah,
bro, what the hell happened? I was like, oh no, I did it. And he was
yeah,
like, what are you talking about? I said, yeah, bro. I mean, I was like, kind of nicked it a little bit.
yeah. He was like, did you join the bros overnight? Like, what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah, no, I did not do that. I mean, that's a good point. I probably did look like that, but man, when I tell you Christian Jones, bro, he would not live. He would not let me live, bro. I showed up in the locker room the next day. He was on my ass for like a week straight, bro. And it was fun. Oh yeah, it was a funny. Honestly, oh yeah, I loved it. I was like, bro, I was eating it up. I thought it was funny, bro. I was like, I'm not even mad at it, bro. Do what you do, because I did it to myself. I was like, why would I? As a true freshman, I was kind of dumb though. I'm like, I already knew they were gonna get on me. That was kind of dumb.
Yeah. Well, you're like, you coming in, it's more like, hey, I'm all ball. I'm not worried about a haircut. I'm just ready to lock in for the season. That's what I did when I buzzed my hair, but obviously I kept everything lined up, faded, but it was like more business.
Yeah, I didn't have that, unfortunately. My producer said, he said, my first summer of college, I had, well, Wyatt, he's a host too, but he's producing today. First summer of college, I had blonde highlights. Those first summers make a lot of bad decisions. That's true. I mean, you're in college for the first time. I'll say this though, and this is a terrible comparison, but like when you first show up in a football locker room, it's kind of like, and I have no experience. I've never, knock on wood, been arrested or anything, but I feel like it's kind of like, if somebody just got to jail or something, like, you kind of got to show up. You can't be you got to be tough. So I guess
can't be
maybe
no bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Can't be no bitch. I got
you
Bama. Can't be no bitch at Bama.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bald I'm just gonna bald it. And I wouldn't intimidate nobody though. So that didn't really work out. But yeah, no.
If you got any pictures, I'd love to see that.
Bro, you know what's crazy? I literally I have to have one, or Jamie probably does. But I have a
Snapchat.
Yeah, probably that. I have a hard drive though. Like, bro, I used to be so like sentimental. I have like a hard drive with like pictures from when I was like high school and back all the way to college. And then when iCloud came out, I stopped doing it the same way. But if I go back on there, I guarantee you, bro, I have so many pictures and videos from like back when I was in college. Like, people probably would. I mean, like, I got so much stuff. Like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But now
That's
you just
cool.
iCloud keeps everything, so you ain't really gotta do all that. But I used to literally, I'd take my phone and every like 3 months, I'd download my pictures on my laptop, put them on this big terabyte hard drive. That way I store like all my memories on there. I feel old as hell saying that, and it's really wasn't long ago.
Dude, I kind of like, I was always nervous because I feel like it'd get lost in the cloud.
Oh, yeah.
But
no, I am worried about that.
A better job of that.
Well, I'm worried about that nowadays because I'm like, I don't have a physical backup. So I'm like, you kind of relying on the cloud. Like, what happens if the cloud fails?
Tuscaloosa's death.
Oh, great. That's a good point. No, but those terabyte things, my granddad had given it to me like a while ago, and bro, that thing can hold. I mean, I don't even think I've used maybe 10% of this stuff. But I'm talking about, it's funny. I got pictures and videos from my phones back in high school, starting when I was like 15, 16, bro. I got all those memories, bro. Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, it is cool, bro. It's like seeing a little evolution. Now, you said Snapchat and all that just saved it, so it's easy, though.
Yeah. Well, you might want to download that just in case
So
whatever adapters.
Yeah, you're right, bro. I would
outdated.
be sick to my stomach. Matter of fact, it might not be in here. I was about to say, I know I literally normally keep it like anywhere around like a computer desk or something, but now you got me worried. I'm like, bro, where'd I put it though?
Go ahead and get it on the cloud or a computer or something.
Bro, anytime I move, I kid you not, that's the first thing I grab. Or one of them. That's one of the first things I grab. Anytime I move, I grab the drive and I immediately throw it in like a backpack or something. I'm like, I can't misplace that.
It's like your house is burning down. It's like first thing you go, grab like most memorable things or pictures or whatever.
Yeah, bro, you can't get that bad, man. I can replace a PS5 or a TV or
shoes, clothes.
Yeah, bro, I was talking with Jamie the other day. It's funny when you get older, like I have all these dunks and shoes I was buying when they're a little bit more hot, like a couple of years ago. Now, I'm not even 30 yet, but I'm close. Man, I wear the same sandals every day. I'm like, bro, it's funny when you get older, you like, bro, you really don't even care nearly as much about a lot of stuff as you did.
Yeah. And I
All
can't
right,
even wear those now. I gotta wear dress shoes. Hell.
and welcome back into this festive Friday. This is the Miller's Edge, Hot 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Guys, hear the Christmas music going. Hopefully Slade likes that because we're now joined by Slim Shady, a.k.a. Slade Bolden, former Alabama wide receiver. Quite the media personality now, man. Slade makes his rounds, man. And again, we're going to start doing some stuff 100% for sure. But Slade, welcome in, man. How was Thanksgiving, bro? I didn't even ask you that while we were talking during the break.
No, I mean we get to talking and one
Just
subject
going.
we just roll and roll, which is always good. But no, I love the Christmas music. Obviously, like I love Christmas. Not only is the birth of our Lord and Savior, but man, just the spirit, the football season. This is where everything gets real in
Yeah.
college and the NFL. So it's a great time, especially in the football world. And yes, I love the Christmas music intro. But man, Thanksgiving was great. I actually spent Thanksgiving at my girlfriend's family's house down in Livingston, Louisiana, East Baton Rouge, and
Nice.
ate plenty. Trust me, still full to the day. So it was great though. It was fun. And now I'm back home, and now you can see in the background it's like my old high school pictures. It used to be my game room. Then
Oh,
my
you're at home.
yeah, I'm at West Monroe crib.
Oh,
But
dang. Yeah, I did notice that. That's what's up. Stomping grounds.
yeah, but now my grandmother turned it to her office, so no longer game room. But I got my trophies, some of my old high school memorabilia up. But I'm doing good.
Hell
How was
yeah.
your Thanksgiving, C-Mill?
Hey, he's good, man. I went to James Flame's house. Speaking of him, we were talking about him. I went to his house, and I was bragging earlier. I won't spend too much time on it. But listen, I know everybody thinks they got the best plates, man, and I didn't contribute or cook it, so I'm not trying to brag. They handled it.
I bet.
Listen, now Jamie's from Mobile,
Yeah,
but
I'm already knowing.
Savannah, her uncle's a butcher, and so she brings back stuff from him, and he's got, like macaroni and cheese with brisket, cooked into it with bacon on top. Jamie's cooking
Lord.
greens with smoked turkey necks. Cooking it. Hey, listen, man. Listen,
They did that
I
thing.
have no complaints, bro. I
mean,
have
you
I
didn't
have
have
no
to tell me.
complaints.
I knew it was going to be like that over there at the Mosley
Every
household.
time. Yeah,
Just knowing him.
for our listeners, because they're not familiar with his game. Jamie always was the one doing crawfish in college. He was the guy. So he was holding crawfish boils. He was cooking on the grill. Matter of fact, here's my plate. I'll put on the screen real quick. That's my plate. It's a little blurry, but you can see that the turkey
look
down
good
the
from
bottom,
here.
sweet potato stuff in the middle. You see those greens with that damn the turkey neck in there, the brisket up top. What's up? Oh, green bean casserole. Then you've got what's last but not least?
Dressing?
That's
You already dressing?
mac and cheese. Yeah, dressing was in the middle. Dressing was in the middle. It was
Okay.
everything.
The dressing.
A1. No complaints. All right, enough about food. Let's talk about some football because there's plenty of it today. Egg Bowl is going on right now. We got the Iron Bowl tomorrow. Talk to me, Slade. How are you? What's your overall feelings right now, man? All right, we got Alabama. We know what's on the line. Everything's in front of us. You win this game, you're in the SEC championship game, you're in the playoffs, all that good stuff. But like we said, you got to win this game. You're going against an Auburn team that 5-win team right now, but they're a solid football team. I'll say that, right? I mean, offensively, they've been pretty stagnant for, I guess, majority of the season. They promote DJ Durkin, defensive coordinator, but he gives play calling responsibilities to Derek Nix. Their offense looks different now. New quarterback, right? They've put up 100 points in the last 2 games. I know that includes Mercer, but you still see, I mean, they're finding a little bit of rhythm offensively. They've got a really good defense, really good front seven. You and I both know what it's like to play at Jordan-Hare. I mean, what comes with that? It's a tough environment. Coach DeBoer's first time. Overall, how are you feeling about this game and this matchup? Not to mention, offensively, it's about 4 straight weeks now that we hadn't really. I know Eastern Illinois, but still, if you looked at Ty's contributions in the first half, still one great performance in terms of his rhythm and accuracy for the most part. Just how are you feeling overall?
Well, first off, this week, man, it's as much as we love to go in every week, it's just another game on the schedule, preparation, everything building up to the game day. It's always the same, right? You got to treat every week like it's the same, but we know mentally, this week is a lot different. This holds the cards of people's mental health through the rest of the football season and maybe even the year in the state of Alabama.
True.
So obviously
True.
it is a huge game and it's such a historical and great rivalry. But we've seen this movie a lot of times, and a lot of times
Mhm.
it's been a horror movie. Going in Jordan-Hare, basically losing. If you lose this game, you get bounced out of playoffs, or you leave it up to the committee. And
Mhm.
that's one thing that I figured we'd get possibly punched in the mouth one more time this season. Thinking it'd be at Georgia against Georgia, but obviously came out victorious. And I was thinking, okay, at home against Oklahoma this year, we're going to get our revenge back. I'm not worried. So going into Auburn, it doesn't matter what the
Right.
record is, all that you can throw it out the window. They come out and they play like a top 10 team every time they play us. And obviously, there is something going on in that stadium that needs to be exercised. I don't know what it is, but
Bring the holy oil. We need to bring some
yeah,
anointing oil. Put the cross all around the stadium.
something, a doll. We got so with all those things, it's just you try not to. I guess if I was in these guys' shoes, still as a player, you don't want to let this moment get too big, but also
Mhm.
you got to enjoy it, embrace it, because it is one of the most special historical rivalries there is. And a lot of these guys grew up watching and wanting to play in this game, so enjoy it, embrace it, but don't let it get too big. So obviously we can get in depth like what I feel like we need to do, and what we haven't done well to possibly take advantage and dominate this game. But it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Something's going to happen. It's how
Yeah.
we respond. It's not how we
True.
prepare almost sometimes.
That's a good point. I mean, look, and response is everything, because you just said it. I mean, you're expecting to get hit in the mouth, right? I mean, it's a
Mhm.
rivalry game. It's an SEC game. It's a game that has a lot on the line. These guys, they might not be playing for as much, but if they win it, I think that would make them bowl eligible. And
Right.
they might not really care about it that much, but the fact that they're playing us and they could, take away our hopes and dreams, best believe that's going to add some motivation. We'll
No
dive
doubt.
into what we need to do, but we'll do that when we come back. We'll take a quick time out to stay on schedule. When we come back, we'll dive into what Alabama needs to do. We'll get Slade's thoughts, because I want to ask you some offensive stuff. You're an offensive guy. You understand rhythm, timing,
Mhm.
and connections and that. So I want to get your thoughts on that, and we'll do that when we come back. Have this quick time out right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
I'm nervous.
You a little nervous?
A little bit.
Listen, yeah, wait, no, I need to hear it. Hey, by the way, Dwight in our comment section, he said, Slade, you should have kept the beard. You look a high school player.
Hey, throw me in, coach. I'm ready to go.
Is that? I
I'll
mean,
come
that's
up with
kind
that.
of.
I'm 12. Birth certificate.
Oh, from what was it called? The Dominican baseball player writing in crayon.
Bench warmers.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. I guess that's a compliment, man. It means you look young. Hell, I feel like what's crazy, man. I'm rocking the stash, man. So I definitely probably look a little bit older, but
It's
I don't
it's
care,
weird.
man.
It's like I think I look young as hell. I do. Like I look in the mirror, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I just
Yes
graduated high
and no,
school.
though. Nah,
But
you don't look
but it's
that
like a
young.
different, but my thing is right now, as I feel like I'm still young, I'm gonna keep the beard. And then once I,
Fair.
get
Now,
about 30,
then you
marry,
need to look
kids,
younger.
then
Yeah,
yeah,
okay, I
then we
feel
take
that.
it down. It's like, dang, you look
That's fair.
25. Well, I'm
That's
30,
fair.
but I appreciate it.
No, that's fair. Hey, listen, if the mustache kind of is keeping it, but everything else is clean. But when I get rid of the mustache, I look a lot younger too. But
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I always fool around with the mustache, man. I've always listen. I tell everybody, I brought the mustache back before it came back in whenever Top Gun 2 came out.
Yeah.
Everybody before that, everybody was joking on me about the mustache, and I used to be like, nah, man, it's old school.
Who laughing
vibe.
now?
Ain't laughing now. Now it's like the popular thing. So I tell people, man, you gotta give me credit, man.
You see a trend on TikTok, like some girl making, if he's got a mustache and what, like,
right.
So you're there, and that's
Yeah,
only because Top
exactly.
Gun and all this other stuff. It came, but you were already before the trend.
I was before the trend, man. I tell you, I got the proof too. I can go back to when I was in college here, because people used to call me. Matter of fact, they called me. Remember in the training rooms they used to do the like the lookalikes, the slideshow lookalikes. I think it was around like Halloween or something, or whenever they used to do it. They used to always give me like two people. One was like Lenny Kravitz, and the other one was
Lenny, definitely.
Yeah, they used to always give me
too.
they used to give me Lenny Kravitz like every year, and then the other one was I forgot who. Oh, we're back. Whoops, I'm tripping.
Full drops. Use as directed.
No, it could be now.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
Full edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Presented by the Good Feet Store, America's art sport experts. We're joined by former Alabama wide receiver Slim Shady Slade Bolden here on the show, as he does regularly. And again, I promise, I know people are like, oh, you are doing a podcast. I promise. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible with trying to just get everything lined up with direction. And now that I'm thinking about it, we'll just, instead of it being so breakdown oriented, we can just come up with something where we're just shooting the stuff. Ooh, I forgot we're back on there. Shooting the stuff like
shooting the bull.
There you go. Like we just do anyways. But yeah, we'll definitely get some more of that going. I promise. We're doing more content. Whatever. We'll do more of it because you guys enjoy it. All right, Slade, we're talking about the Iron Bowl. You already told us about the history of it as a player and just kind of what all comes with that. We know from experience, like it's always. I mean, at least for them, they treat it like a Super Bowl. We always treat it like definitely one of our biggest games of the year, regardless of whatever. Because like you said, I mean, there's always implications on the line, right? It's always, especially before they went away with the East and West, it always was the winner of this game typically went on to go play in the SEC championship game or got that opportunity for the college football playoffs. So that's not new to us.
All right.
A little bit newer to this coaching staff, however. They've never traveled to Jordan-Hare Stadium. And again, I'm not trying to find a bunch of reasons for people to be worried, but that is something I'm curious about, just kind of how you talked about the response, how these things, could have an effect or play a role, just because we know, even going there with Coach Saban, who's been there a million times, and us playing, like, it's a tough challenge, right? I know fans are a little frustrated hearing that kind of stuff, but just as players from our experience, that doesn't mean you're scared or nervous. It's just to acknowledge, like, playing at Auburn is a tough place to play, just like playing at Tennessee. At least for me, I'm sure you would agree. Is always loud as hell, and it's a hard play, especially for you on offense. Tennessee it's tough with that environment, with how hostile it is. I mean, it is what it is. They're a tough place to play. No different at Jordan-Hare. Let's talk about some of these keys to look forward in this game. For me, I'll just give you mine real quick.
Yeah.
Offensively, I think a lot rides on Ty. He hadn't really had his rhythm, like we saw him earlier in the season recently. The good news is I do feel like he's due for one of those games, one of those response games. Even though it's going to be challenging to do that in this type of game with, all the hostility and playing on the road like that, I just have faith that we're going to see a similar tie, or hope that we see a similar tie that we saw against Georgia. I'm not saying he's going to be perfect, but that confidence, that swagger, hitting those throws, attacking the middle part of the field, if those hole shots open up, right? Being accurate with those throws like we saw him doing so earlier. I have confidence that he can help return to form, because I do believe that's going to be one of the biggest factors in this game. And most importantly, taking care of the football. I also think little things like, starting fast would be big, killing their motivation, trying to stay, ahead of the chains, right? They have a really good rushing defense, but not getting behind the sticks, being in a lot of third and long situations, a lot of crowd noise, a lot of, chaotic, stuff going on. That could make your day a little bit longer than it needs to be. And then on the other side of the football, to me, it's pretty simple. Controlling, their dual threat quarterbacks, right? You'll probably see maybe at least two of them. That's going to be big in this game, stopping the run, and then also getting back to forcing turnovers, because that was something we didn't do against Oklahoma. And even though a lot of that was on us offensively for having turnovers, if defense would have done, took advantage of some of the opportunities that they had, that could have been a difference in the game. So those are my main keys, just surface level. Tell me, Slay, when you look at this game, what does Alabama need to do to have success? Because you said during the timeout, you had a little bit of concern when you looked at this matchup. What does Alabama need to do to ease some of that for you?
Well, I'm basically just going to hit and piggyback off what you said, because you pretty much covered everything from a, exact fundamental execution standpoint on, like, hey, this is the things that we need to hit and we need to accomplish and execute. But I think it is more of like, you got to weather that storm at first, right? Just understanding, and it's almost maybe not a bad thing that DeBoer hasn't experienced this, because he is going to treat this like it's just another game. Hopefully that he treats every other game like it's the biggest game on the schedule because it's the next one, right?
Right.
So that could be a positive thing. But you come out, these guys are gonna be flying around, flying on high levels, all cylinders,
Yeah.
and you just got to weather that. Execute, don't make any mistakes. Win the turnover game, right? I remember Coach Saban would maybe put up the big stat board of all the teams and all the games from the weekend, and what team from each game had the certain amount of turnovers, and whoever had the least amount of turnovers or more turnovers, was pretty
I
much the winner. It was
literally
like 90% or
I
whatever.
literally just earlier before you got, I literally was detailing that just how you did. So I'm laughing
Really?
because it's hilarious. You literally brought it up and then
It's just-
explained it the exact side because I just said that it's funny. So see, I'm not lying, Slade. Just
Yeah.
said
Oh
the
yeah.
same thing.
And it's
Every week, every Monday.
100%, and it's so true. And that's the thing where in these type of games where uh, a team like Auburn's just going to build off momentum. They're going to come out flying, and once they capitalize on a turnover, 3 and out, or they're just causing disruption, that's where you start keeping them in the game. So I think we weather the storm. We execute a high level, like you said, long sustaining drives. Because once you start having those long sustaining drives, putting yourself in good third down situations, keeping the ball on offense, you start taking the wind out of these guys.
Yep.
They're starting to believe in the fact that they can't win, right? Because at first they feeling like
Invincible.
Superman. Yeah,
Yeah.
invincible. We can win this game. We've done it before. So that is like the mental, I guess, challenge coming in from like a true execution standpoint. Yeah, I do think Ty has to, execute higher. But we talked about this after LSU, and as much as he's played so well and he hasn't really shown what he's shown in the first or 75% of the season, man, I hate to put too much pressure on him because it's at all levels, right?
True.
And we talked about timing and rhythm and flow. So, obviously the center's got to snap it a good snap. Ty's got to catch the ball. Obviously, the call has to be correct, whether it's a run or pass blocked. Everybody's got to know the right assignment, communicate at the line. Receivers can't take 3 years at the line if it's man, because that's what they're probably going to run. So they've always done against us is just pressure, cover zero, cover one, two man. We got to get off our releases. Run the right routes at the right depth, so that when Ty's ready, he's on his third or his fifth drop and he knows the coverage, he's already prepared for it. He can get it out on time, right? So I think all these things come from just every level. And for me, the biggest thing that has, I think, put more pressure on Ty trying to do too much or feel like he has to because of the run game not being as efficient, which has caused him to force throws I don't think he normally would make or hasn't been making. And when you try to force things, normally it results in negative plays or turnovers. So I
Yep.
think one thing that we need to do as a team and an individual standpoint is regroup. And I actually said this on a podcast Sunday talking about this game. If we would go back and let's just find our weaknesses. Okay, so run game, how do we get it better? Great, right? That we want to get the run game efficiency up. But what makes us great, right? If you just focus on the weaknesses, you're slowly going to build the weaknesses up as your strengths come down, and we're just going to sit at average. We don't want to be average people. What keeps us great? We got to keep that great. So let's go back. Let's look at what's worked, fundamentally for us, and get back to that and execute those plays. I think that pertain to Auburn's defense because obviously we've played however many games now, right? Was it 10?
11.
10 games, 11. Yeah, it's more than what we used to play. And obviously you see, okay, we had Auburn runs this type of defense. When we played so and so, we executed really well from a run standpoint, play action standpoint, RPO standpoint, just regular drop back, quick game, whatever you want to call it, against this coverage. Okay, what has done really well against every coverage? And now let's implement into that and let's execute that. All right, look, we're here Friday. Hopefully they already did that in practice this week.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that everybody's like, we got to get back to we got to get a run game up. We got a run game up. It's like, okay, well, we tried. It's been 3 weeks when we hadn't really ran the ball efficiently outside of Eastern Illinois, which I'm not counting.
Right.
So I'm kind of done trying to figure out why we or how we could execute that. It's more like, okay, let's do what works. Let's
Yeah.
play our game. And I would just like to see guys like, because you can run the ball in different ways, right? I think a swing out of the backfield or an end around or a bubble route or end around bubble route, I guess, motion behind the quarterback, which I
Yeah.
had to run all the time because I was just check down Charlie. So you get guys like Ryan Williams, you get Jeremy, and I know they have done some of those things, but you get them, you get those guys or playmakers on the outside where we've had success instead of inside the tackles. Get them on the perimeter in those different ways, and I'll tell you this: Ryan and Jeremy are really great players with the ball in their hands. And I know
Yep.
Ryan's kind of struggled this year with seeing the ball and maybe a little confidence. That's how you get him confident. That's how getting those little easy touches. I know they've tried, but I could see more. And there are just so many different ways that you can run the ball, right?
Yeah.
It just looks from a where your guys ending up. It looks the same from the just the stretch or inside or outside zone. So I
Absolutely.
I'm fired up, of course. I'm ready to see because look, we come out, we weather the storm, execute at a high level, and we just end up dominating, and then that just puts in the more I guess trust, not really trust, but it helps the committee be like, okay, yeah, this team is real. They've
Yeah.
they've struggled in 2 games, the first one being a fluke, and hey, couldn't run the ball against a really good Oklahoma team. So
Fair.
I think that will. I don't know what score is going to be because who knows with this place.
You don't want a
It-
chance to win a signed football from your former teammate? You don't want to drop us out of there.
wait, I didn't know that was. Is it your? Is you
Yeah,
signed it?
yeah, yeah.
Oh
How
yeah.
about it?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely try to guess
All
right on
right.
it then.
Drop the score prediction. You got a chance. I'll give you a chance.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go just because this game's always such a battle. I'm gonna go 24-13. I think they score 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. And as much as I don't know if I want us to kick a field goals, but yeah,
I'm not mad at
24-13.
24-13. All right, give me 21 for us. Give them 17. I'm going 21-17 in this one. I don't think we can
It's
field goal.
kind of yeah.
We'll see. All right, I'm gonna wrap things up here on the air. We'll stay here for just a second until it's played by a second. But appreciate everybody. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a great weekend, a great Iron Bowl weekend. Hope you guys are back here Monday for what's hopefully a victory Monday, right on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Big thanks to Wyatt behind the glass, and make sure you guys stay tuned. Tide 100.9 for Wyatt, who's coming up next. We'll see you guys Monday.
You've been listening to the Miller's Edge.
Holiday spirit. I love it.
Yeah, man.
Intro and outro.
Yeah, shout out to Wyatt, man, who's literally so he was producing today, but he does the show that comes on next. So hopefully I was like, damn, I feel bad. Hopefully I got out with like a minute left. Hopefully he didn't push this, but no, he doesn't mind. Dang, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, well, thanks for coming on. Yeah, I'm sorry for the late notice, but
well, I know you're busy as hell. I'm when you text me, I'm like, yeah.
You gonna
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I was about to say, no, we need to just get something just scheduled, just going, even if it's like doing like that podcast like once a week. But if you're down like in the off season, we still can do something. I just was thinking, I was like, damn, we don't have much to break down after the next. I mean, hopefully we have another 2, 3, maybe 4 more games, whatever it ends up being. But yeah, we'll figure that part out because it doesn't have to be breakdowns. But that's why I'm glad I didn't. Initially, I was thinking we're just going to be breaking a bunch of stuff down because I honestly think, and we're still live on here, by the way.
Yeah.
Like breakdown stuff, like everybody wants to see that. Like right now, I'm seeing even like Bleacher Report that they're like not hiring, but they're paying like Ed Reed or like Pat Surtain, like to do these like breakdowns and stuff like that. So like, everybody, it's like the big niche right now. So I think it'd be good to do that.
I think as long as you make it interesting, that's one thing. Remember, I was trying to do my little segments. Obviously, from just time management standpoint, just
it's a lot.
The editing and I had a guy do it. Now I'm close with the Bring the Juice pod, but he's not like a football guy. So like I'd seen the clips and he understood. He ain't worried. I kind of was essentially quietly like, all right, I'll just do them all.
Yeah.
But it took so much time out of my like life, to be honest. Like I'd come
Trying to do
home
everything.
from work, like my job, and it takes like 2 hours a day. Like for me, not being that good at it, and also, man, I was talking way too much. Like I just get on there. Everything I see that I clip up from YouTube
Trying
or
to include
whatever.
every little. I do the same thing.
Yeah, and like I know that it just no one's really everybody gets bored after the first 10 seconds, right? And unless somebody's like truly like wanting to know a true Bama fan, like which I appreciate, and I'm not asking for anybody to stay on as long as you want. But for me personally, the time was just it took a lot out of me. And now the video and then like clipping up wasn't that bad. Like I could sit there and talk to a camera, but it's
Yeah,
so much easier when you're talking with somebody, especially somebody you played
1000%.
with, well, like that you can compare. What do you call it? You're compatible.
Like
You can
bouncing back
bounce off
and
each
forth.
other,
Yeah.
and like it's kind of hard to make it really interesting, which I tried. I feel like I'm pretty interesting guy.
No,
I was
100%.
trying, but it was tough, like to really do it in a small amount, a short window of trying to keep those clips short. Because dude, once they get talking ball, it's the brain starts just running.
But see, and
So,
that's what helps me because like doing 2 hours of radio, I'm not gonna lie to you, is not as easy as people might think. But what helps is when it's tailored to football.
yeah,
I mean,
of
like you
course.
just said, when you start talking ball, I mean, I can sit there and it just naturally starts flowing. It's almost like my brain's programmed. Now, I'll be honest, I don't write all these notes or do all like,
Yeah.
bro. I pull up some tape, bro. And I just get to going, and then I'm going off of what I watched earlier before coming on here, and I'm like, it just letting it roll. But
Yeah.
that's what we need to do. That's what I wanted to do because now I got the tape. Because what I was going to do is like I'll show you real quick. I don't know if you got like 5 minutes. It won't
No,
take
you're
long,
good. I'm just pops. I
dude.
don't know, I think he's vacuuming for some reason. I don't know.
Nah,
I
so
came home, he was vacuuming, and he's like, it's his birthday too. He's like, yeah, that's what I get to do on my birthday. I was like, well, my bad. Dog. I'll get you right. I'll get something for you.
so I got the tape now. Let me put it on so it's in the wait, golly, I might have to edit. No, I don't need you that small. All right, there we go. So I was
Mhm.
like, damn, this is what we need to do. Cause then we could sit here and just go back and forth, chop up literally like
Yeah.
you talk about offense, what you see. I talk about defense. That's why when I was initially talking about like the breakdown stuff, that's what I wanted to do. But then I ran into issues with like copyright. Like this is like not even this is a all 22 copy, like coach's copy, and they still were giving me like copyright stuff, which it didn't even make any sense. But then
Who?
now
Like
YouTube,
StreamYard or
YouTube,
YouTube?
yeah, dude, they were striking this stuff, and that's the other reason I had to hit pause on it because I was anticipating, like, when me and you came on here, I was just going to throw out some tape and just let us just roll for an hour and just chop it
Yeah.
up. But then literally I was doing this during my show and they started striking it. And then I got like
Wow.
a warning that it was like, well, if you do it again or something, like they'll like give me like a week ban or something. So I had to like slow down with it. But
Huh.
nah, like I said,
That's
we'll
strange.
definitely. I
Well,
know. It's
I've
weird.
I've gone on George T's podcast, T Takes, and he has,
They
the
do it.
true film, and I guess it works. I mean, I can message him and see if
You have to
what
see
he's
because
doing is different, or I don't know. But it
I
was
don't.
from like 2 years, 3 years prior.
And it
I don't know
might
if
be
that
the
has anything
angle
to do.
too, though, because I saw somebody told me about that, and I went and saw one, and ironically, his son was breaking it down, and
Mm.
the one I just happened to watch, his son literally made a comment like, "Oh, I'm letting it play. Sorry, Justin. Like they're probably gonna say something." And I was confused because I was like, I thought he had been letting it play a lot, but I think you have like a few seconds to play, then stop it. I just
Oh,
don't know how it like stacks up. It's like I don't
yeah.
know. Can you let it play 4 seconds? Then how long do you have to wait to play another 4 seconds? Or maybe the end zone angle is better because it doesn't mimic like this. Kind of looks like a TV copy, even though it's from the press box.
Right.
So
And it's
I
like,
don't
how do
know.
you efficiently,
Right
how that like look
now,
good on
we
screen?
exactly now like 'cause what I do still during the show is I'll speed it up that way those seconds last longer. So like we still could do it. So like if you wanted to watch, but see how like that snap takes a few seconds. So now I'm like pausing it here, and then I'll talk
Hmm.
a little bit, then I'll play a little bit. And I just was like, I feel like sometimes it's kind of annoying for people to be like, watching and you're like, dang, why do you keep stopping it? But you don't really have a choice. But we'll figure it out though. We'll do something though. When are you doing that? You said you're going on there, or you went on there?
I went. This was like a couple years ago, or maybe a year ago, maybe the summer of 24. I just met T and hopped on there. We talked to just like kind of route running stuff, and he pulled up some film from I think 21 SEC championship game. So, but it was like he told me he had like the true coach's cut or whatever. That's what made me think about it. But I know that's kind of I don't know, it's weird, it's tedious.
Yeah, I know. Well, but like I said, we can get around it. It's just stop, start, and whatever. But no, we'll definitely. I know I keep saying we'll definitely. No, I promise we. Because even if we started even during like now going into like bowl time, I mean it's something. I don't know. I'm gonna go back and look at those names, and I even thought about it too. I'm like, honestly, I was probably overthinking like having like at first I was like, well, if we put Bama in there too much, then it might limit us to Bama stuff. Then I thought about Mike. That's kind of like our niche, like us former Bama players. That almost would be kind of a miss.
It's the only thing people care about.
Yeah, I was about to say it's almost a miss if we don't. So that's why I like at least being patient, because then you at least can go back. But
yeah, no, dude, you're good, brother. I mean, and then,
I wish you had time like this. I'll just get you co-hosted on here, or that we could just kind of.
Well, anytime, like honestly, other than like that, this week, dude, Tuesdays, like or whenever. During lunch, I'm good. Like 30 minutes during lunch, you let me know. I mean, I know you got a lot going on. If you want me to, I'll text you. Be like, hey, I'm good to go today.
Yeah, no, dude. If you tell me what time or whatever you can do, you can hop on your shoot 2, 3, 4. You can. I don't care if you come on every week, every day. Like, bro, that's my goal is like because it's fun when we can like chop, like you said, bouncing off people, chopping it up and stuff. Like, I enjoy doing that. Plus, I mean, if we get something going regular. I mean, it ain't gonna be a thing, but to reach out and get some sponsors and stuff, and I mean, hopefully, and get you paid too, like, and build that up. I mean, because we got the platform, man. Shoot, that's why I was even telling like TB when he came on here, like Razor, like I was trying to help them set up something. But
yeah,
bro, the people just want content and a platform to do it. I got the platform already, so that's one of the biggest.
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it like that. No, I'm just no. You're good, bro. No, you're helping me out, bro.
I'm telling you, I lost some lives. I felt like I lost some years on trying to edit. I was just like, not that everybody was like really looking forward to Slay segments every week.
No, dude, no. People, people.
It was more for me to talk ball, but then it got to where it was like, golly, like this is just.
Well, I'll cut. It is, but I'll cut this. I'll cut this one up from today. That way you have something to post. No. I'll do that sometime. I'll do it sometime today. I'm gonna go run and grab some food here in a minute, but I'll probably later. Yeah. I'm gonna plate. Yeah, I got to stop by Flame's house, man. Go grab a little bit more of that food, bro. So I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm gonna get on it. I'll clip up what you talked about the Iron Bowl, because I know that'll be good. A lot of people want to hear.
Yeah, and feel free to tag, or what do you call it? I'm
gonna do it with mine together. Too. Yeah. I'll do it mine too, because I need to
collab. That's the word for it.
We'll collab on there.
Technology, huh? I'm so good at this.
Listen,
I know words.
Hey, at least you're not like me, bro. My damn PC, I was having issues trying to get the internet working, and it took me like 2 weeks to figure it out. And I did every step. I watched a YouTube video on some guy from India giving literally over 20 steps to try, and none of them worked. And I thought I was just an idiot. Then all of a sudden, literally the other day, my power went out because of a storm. The shit came back on, and it just magically was working. So I think it was God, bro. But
I'm about to say,
because I am getting old. Yeah,
won't he do it?
Yeah, God is good. He'll do it all right, because it wasn't me. Because I had no answer for it. I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, I appreciate you joining, bro. We'll get you on as much as you can next week, because there'll be plenty to talk about. There'll be a lot. So we'll do that. Sure. Be easy, bro. Be safe on that road next time you're on that road, and we'll talk next week, bro.
Sounds good, Sam. Appreciate it, brother. And
yes, sir.
Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Sounds like Absolutely. You did. Especially them good eats.
Listen, I ain't got nothing to complain about, brother. Likewise, hope all was good with yours too, bro. Yes, sir.
That's
we'll
right.
See you.
All right, brother.
All right, man.